Minnie's heart soared as the small plane's wheels lifted from the ground. She loved being up in the clouds with Keira, Mama, and Daddy, looking down on the lush carpet of evergreens, the never-ending blue-gray ocean, and the rugged mountain peaks, gliding like a bird on the wind. Keira sank her nails into Minnie's arm. It hurt, but Minnie didn't pull away. It wasn't often that she got to be the brave one. People who didn't know Keira thought she wasn't afraid of anything. After all, she'd been the first person on the Jefferson County gymnastics team, boy or girl, to execute a double front flip without a trampoline. But Minnie knew her sister better than anyone, and after reading aloud in front of others, Keira's next greatest fear was of riding in the tiny single-engine plane. She only ever got into Daddy's Cessna 172 out of loyalty, because she prized being together as a family more than she feared falling from the sky. She had told Minnie this when they were curled up in their giant zipped-together sleeping bags, lying under the stars on the back deck, listening to the ocean waves pound the rocks like the Earth's heartbeat. The engine's rumble filled Minnie's head, and her chest vibrated along with its purring. The crowded space inside the four-seater smelled like gasoline. Daddy must have spilled some fuel on his pants or hands, which were covered in grease more often than not. Mama said the skin under Daddy's nails had been permanently turned black, just like half my heart, he would always reply. The plane bumped over a rough patch of air, and Keira's nails dug in a little deeper. Mama's voice crackled through Minnie's headset. "The sisters are out today." She pointed to the Olympic range. The two mountains were actually called the brothers, but their family called them the sisters. They stood side by side, connected at the hip. The taller one the family had dubbed Minni, and the shorter one was Keira. Minnie gazed at the twin peaks, dusted with patches of snow even in late June. "Just in time for our story," Daddy said. This was their tradition. Every year on June 23rd, for as long as Minnie could remember, first pastrami and pickle sandwiches at Jerry's, and then a spin in Daddy's plane. Their destination was always the same, Forks, Washington, and along the way, they heard the story. "The day you were born," Daddy said, "you made news around the world." Mama didn't much like talking about it, even though it had turned out to be the best day of her life, seeing that she'd gotten Minnie and Keira in the end. To her, it was a tragedy narrowly escaped, but to Daddy it was an escapade, an adventure, the way Daddy saw everything in life. After so many years, Mama must have decided it was okay. She didn't even say, "Oh, Gordon, do you have to?" Daddy liked to say the crazy in him called out to the cautious in Mama, and the steady in Mama called out to the roller coaster in him, and that was how they got together. "The day you were born," Daddy continued, "the crazy won over the cautious." Minnie looked out at the mountains and listened to Daddy tell them again how she and her twin sister had come into the world exactly 11 years ago. It was a clear day, one of those days when the sky is so blue you wish the world would tip upside down so you could fall into the heavens and splash around. Those days were rare where they lived on the Olympic Peninsula, that part of Washington state that stuck out into the Pacific Ocean like a giant crab claw, which was why Daddy had wanted to take Mama flying in the first place. "Might be our last chance for a while," he said. So Mama climbed into Daddy's plane, even though the babies inside her were only 6 weeks from being due. Her stomach was too big to fit in the front seat, so she got in the back and Daddy flew her around like a chauffeur in the sky. Mama had rubbed on her belly as if it were a magic lantern. Through the headphones, Daddy heard her telling her babies not to worry, that every little thing would be all right. "It was the sun and moon told me," Mama said. "I knew things would work out because they were in the sky together that day, just like my babies were together inside me." It was good luck, she said, and was why Keira got named after the sun and Minnie got the middle name Lunette, which meant Little Moon.